Did you know that at the peak of Golden Age Hollywood, a handful of very bold actresses were caught wearing clothes that revealed more than they should? Well, some of them were rewarded with groundbreaking cultural revolution. Others were punished with heartbreaks, broken marriages, lifelong guilt, and even death. And in this video, we will tell you many such untold stories about the most scandalous dresses of old Hollywood. Jean Harlow, 1933. We start the list with someone not many people would remember, but this actress began something that will continue even decades after her death. Jean Harlow was one of the leading sex symbols of the early 1930s, famous for her portrayal of bad girl characters. Although Harlow was in the industry for only 9 years, her acting skills and wardrobe choice left an indelible print in the minds of everyone who knew or heard of her. One of her most memorable performances was in the 1933 comedy-drama film Dinner at 8. In a time when women were persecuted for showing skin, this actress rocked a cut gown with a low back and crisscrossing straps in the front. It was so tightly fitted that it looked like it had been poured right over Jean's body. The media couldn't get enough of it. Therefore, they had her in the headlines for months, but that was exactly what she wanted. Jean Harlow might not be able to boast of a glorious career, but we all remember her as the lady who started the trend of clingy gowns without bras. Here again, she is with Clark Gable, her co-star in Red Star. Jean Harlow died of kidney failure at the age of 26 while filming MGM's Saratoga. Theda Bara, popularly known as the Vamp because of her portrayal of seductive, mysterious, and sometimes villainous female characters in the early 20th century. Theda Bara made the list of the most popular actresses in Hollywood even though she had a very short time. She broke all the rules with her role in the 1917 silent film Cleopatra, where she can be seen wearing different expensive and racy costumes, including a snake-coiled bra. It might be hard for most people to understand why she was such a hot ticket back in those days. It was simple. Bara sold something different every time she was behind the camera. We only struggle to remember all she did because most of her popular film appearances were lost in a fire outbreak back in those days when movie studios only kept a copy of every film they made. Bara was 51 years old when this happened, and she will live another 18 years watching her entire film legacy go down in dust. She died in 1955, but not many people cared. Anyway, one thing that will always be remembered about Theda Bara would be her boldness and acceptance of fashion trends. That is why she is on the list today. Rita Hayworth, 1941. Rita Hayworth, unlike many people on today's list, fought hard for her place on the screen. But you can't really blame anyone if all they remember about her are the many times she wore inviting clothes. Before Hayworth became the love goddess, she posed for Life magazine in 1941, and the result is arguably the single most famous and most frequently reproduced American pinup image ever. Kneeling on top of a bed, Hayworth was captured in a negligee with a black lace bodice. This Bob Landry's photograph made Rita Hayworth one of the top pinup girls of the World War II years. The other was Betty Grable. It was reported that more than 5 million copies of this image ended up in the hands of American troops fighting in the war. Hayworth worked hard for a successful career, and she died at 68 after years of struggle with Alzheimer's disease. Jane Mansfield, 1957. It has been 67 years, but Jane Mansfield's picture continues to loom large. You can also see Sophia Loren with what was debated to be the most famous side-eye in paparazzi history. In my face, you can see the fear. I am frightened that everything in her dress is going to blow, boom, and spill all over the table. Loren tried to explain the look. Jane stole the spotlight at Sophia Loren's party with this outfit that left very little to the imagination. She wore a backless satin gown, and it caused this much trouble because she wore it without a bra. But Loren would forgive her. Many people believe that Sophia and Jane fought each other until the end because of this, but this is not exactly true. Sophia Loren, in an interview, denied any sort of conflict between them. Anyway, as they say, Jane wasn't able to find lasting happiness because of her luxurious lifestyle and entanglement with men of all sorts. She died at the age of 37 in a car crash. Josephine Baker. All it took for Josephine Baker to establish herself as the biggest black star in the world was dancing half-naked in a skirt made with 16 rubber bananas. Josephine Baker was an American-born French singer, dancer, and actress. She was the first black woman to star in a major motion picture in the 1927 silent film Siren of the Tropics. Baker spent her childhood as a cleaner, and it was even rumored that one time her hands were burned by an employer as punishment for adding too much soap to the laundry. It all changed for her after her seductive banana skirt dance in the summer of 1926 at the Folies Bergère in Paris. Josephine manipulated many eyes and dropped jaws as she waved her arms and swayed her hips. After her dance, millions of banana skirts were sold all over Europe, and women were advised to rub walnut oil on their faces to darken their skin like Baker's. One thing that remains striking about Josephine Baker's story is that she was skilled at manipulating the public imagination. Therefore, she didn't need to wear the banana skirt for long. She did what she did, got the attention she wanted, and used all that fame and influence to get what she wanted. Today, stars like Beyoncé have worn different variations of Baker's banana skirt as they pay homage to the actress's lifelong work. Marilyn Monroe, 1955. We all knew that this list would not be complete without Marilyn Monroe, that one actress with defying guts and wardrobe choices that brought a lot of great men to their knees. An example you will remember is the famous white halter dress in the 1955 film The 7-Year Itch. The scene was first shot in a location in London, but due to the shrieks and cheers of thousands of onlookers, they had to retake it on set. Her then-husband, Joe DiMaggio, was reportedly so upset with Monroe's outfit that he divorced her. Not sure if she cared a lot, as this was not going to be the last time her fashion taste was going to make the headlines. Another famous one is from the night at John F. Kennedy's birthday party celebration in Madison Square Garden, New York. Monroe was dressed in a skin-tight column covered in 2,500 rhinestones. The gown easily advertised the actress's voluptuous figure, while giving off the illusion that she was naked. After the event, rumors of a possible romance between Monroe and the president started spreading fast, but in reality, the opposite happened. Marilyn's performance that night ended every interaction they might have had in the past. The only time the actress and the president were caught on camera was at the after-party of studio boss Arthur B. Krim. 3 months later, Monroe was found dead in her Brentwood home from a drug overdose. Bianca Jagger, 1971. Bianca Jagger was secretly 4 months pregnant when she tied the knot with her husband Mick Jagger. Instead of a wedding gown, Bianca was going to appear in a white YSL Le Smoking jacket with nothing underneath. She paired this also with a long flowing skirt, a wide brim hat, and a veil. A lot of people argued that it was a more comfortable choice, but it still didn't stop it from sending ripples of controversies across the fashion and acting industry. The years that followed saw this brave wardrobe choice define a new and more liberated era for an entire generation of women, and bridal style became more flexible and fun because of it. Anyway, Jagger's marriage ended 7 years later on the grounds of infidelity, and she has chosen to stay unmarried. Bianca didn't do as much acting as she enjoys being a social and human rights activist. She currently serves as the Council of Europe Goodwill Ambassador. Cher, 1974. Cher, without the microphone, made quite the name for herself with a few uncommon wardrobe collaborations with the designer Bob Mackie. Regarding the inspiration behind this dress, Bob revealed that he was bored and very tired of seeing the same thing happening in the fashion industry. He wanted to surprise the world, and that was exactly what he did when Cher was dressed in one of the most famous naked dresses of all time. In detail, it was a sheer beaded gown with white feathered sleeves matched with a white feathered skirt. You could almost see everything. Cher confessed that it was one of the most expensive things she had ever worn. Time magazine would also feature her in the outfit, which sold out fast. It was even reported that a few cities would ban the magazine from being sold and distributed in their communities. Anyway, Mackie confessed that what he loved most about Cher was her fearlessness when it came to fashion. Even in old age, the actress continues to surprise her audience with her outfits. The next time Cher made headlines was when she attended the 1988 Academy Awards in another of Bob Mackie's see-through specials. It would go down as one of the most memorable Oscar dresses in history. Mary Tyler Moore, 1975. When you imagine actresses from old Hollywood who sparked up controversies with their choice of outfits, Mary Tyler Moore doesn't immediately come to mind. But the actress made it to today's list not because she wanted to, but because her designer put her up to it. In the 5th season of The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Moore's character, Mary Richards, is seen in a skin-revealing cutout green dress that was designed by her friend. The audience was both shocked and excited at the sight of their star, but Mary was covered in embarrassment. The dress was ugly to her, but her friend, Ted Baxter, thought it looked amazing. Unfortunately, her designer friend Barbara Colby was going to meet a very tragic end. One night in 1975, Colby and a male friend were accosted and shot by two men in a Venice parking lot. She died on the spot, but her friend lived long enough to give a brief description of their mysterious attackers. The culprits were never caught, and the case remains unsolved to this day. Lady Diana Spencer, 1980. Long before she got engaged to Prince Charles, Diana Spencer caused a lot of stir with things that came out of her wardrobe. Even after her coronation, very little will change about that. The first time Diana's outfit made headlines was when she was just a shy nursery school assistant. Sometime in 1980, the royal photographer Arthur Edwards went searching for the new girlfriend of Prince Charles. He found her at a preschool in London's West End neighborhood. With permission from the school authorities, they went to a nearby park for pictures. Everything was going well until a couple of minutes later. The sun came out and bore Diana's legs in a way that caused quite the scandal. 19-year-old Diana Spencer was horrified when she saw herself in front of newspapers and magazines, but she was still going to do it again, this time as a married woman. Princess Diana, in her first outing with Prince Charles, wore a strapless black taffeta gown. The media couldn't stop talking about it, but the princess was getting used to the attention now. After 15 years of marriage, on the night of June 29, 1994, Prince Charles confessed on national television that he cheated on Princess Diana when they were still married. That same day, Diana wore what might just be the barest she has ever gone. Dressed in an off-shoulder bodycon mini dress, Diana stepped out of her car in the most majestic manner. This outfit is popularly known as her revenge dress. Madonna, 1984. The Queen of Pop cannot be left out of this trend, as on several occasions we have been totally shocked by the things she would put on her body. During one of her first ever concerts at the Madison Square Garden, Madonna performed in a sheer lace bra and matching leggings with a bundle of crosses. While a few people found it enticing, others thought it was provocative. The singer has never been interested in opinions anyway. A decade later, she was going to still appear on the same stage dressed in a beaded bra, shorts, and fishnets. In 1995, Madonna made a runway appearance for Jean Paul Gaultier, adorned with a gold-embellished gown while pushing a carriage. Over the years, the Queen of Pop has entertained her audience with unique samples from her wardrobe. She has been caught dressed as a milkmaid, a gothic Disney princess, a gladiator, and an angel. Sharon Stone, 1992. This is not very old, but here is another actress who was seen in something that would be remembered for a very long time. In one of the most famous scenes in Basic Instinct, American actress Sharon Stone wore a sleeveless turtleneck dress made out of winter wool crepe and no underwear. In 2022, Sharon revealed that she kept the dress because it was expensive. According to her, she got it for $500,000. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos of beautiful actresses from the yesteryears on the end screen below. As always, thanks for watching.